a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but the beauty a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but the beauty a rich man's world. A rich man's world. Beautiful land, but a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but a rich man's world. I have turned the soul of this beautiful land, but the
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Trey Ferg at the Player Coach, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a salute to all my veterans around the world, all my military, keeping our families safe. Hopefully that you make it home real soon. And again, want to salute to all my military personnel, ladies and gentlemen. I present you, Trey Ferg at the Player Coach, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I'm just stopping by, on this Tuesday. Haven't been on for a little bit, salute to all the, content creators everywhere, man. It's been really interesting these last, I guess, a year and a half. I've been sort of surfing, just listening and commenting. Uh, I believe my comments may not be, just or so, but I just try to give it in good faith. Again, just want to salute to everybody. It's Tuesday. Just had some things on my mind. Things going on, good things, interesting, things within our society, what's going on. I've been coaching football for the last, month or so, 5 weeks. It's been really interesting. Love the players. A very diverse group of young boys and teenagers. It's really interesting. 7th and 8th grade, all cultures, Jewish, Hispanic. I got some, I'm not quite sure, but, his family supportive, black kids, no father, with fathers, big, 6 foot, 240s, 6 foot, 160, 130. Very athletic team. We have two teams. It's the 8th grade team and the 7th grade. I pretty much focus on the 7th grade. And it's been really interesting. Again, love the children, love the students. They listen. A lot of them improving a great deal on their football techniques and how to tackle and catch and hit, throw, run, everything that's involved in football. And again, I can't say enough about the kids. I called them singing a song one day, which is interesting. I just walked in, they were singing a song. As a team, wasn't no coaches around. They was bringing in some water cases of water. And they formed a trail or like a line, like a carry-along line. And they were singing a song. All of them were in harmony. It was wild. I walked in, it was wild. I'm like, I just looked at them. And they just kept singing. And they finished the job. And once I heard that, I just felt connected to the team, to the boys on the team. And it's real cool, because they plan, they support each other. They try to encourage each other. All the good things that a coach would want from his team, regardless of the record. I think all coaches would like to have a group of kids that's sort of motivated on their own. In a sense, some of them struggle emotionally. I've had to talk to a few guys that cry, some nice sized kids, but feeling a little low about themselves, helping them work through that self-esteem. That's really interesting because once they can block that out, they can really focus on football and their confidence grows even more. So it's really been interesting. I try to talk to parents sometimes if I can catch them, Some parents come, some don't. Uh, but if I see a parent at any time, I just ask them who's their child and just try to give a little insight on their game and how they play it and how they doing in school, good stuff like that. Uh, some may say, I guess if you don't understand it as being a coach, some will say I'm nosy, but I'm really not because they give me all the information I need, plus more, or maybe too much. But it's been real interesting, you know. It's been going on Well, this makes my 50th year coaching and playing football. So that tells you how old I am. And I started playing back when I was 7 years old. It was this football season of 7 years old. I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with sports. Football was my first love because that was the first one that I played. Because even running around the neighborhood as a young boy, it was rough and tough. We climbed, jumped, rode bikes, did a little everything. Uh, yeah, jumped off of stuff, jumped up on stuff. Uh, yeah, played in the dirt, caught bees. We used to catch bees and yellow jackets and those little green hornet bugs. We used to do all of that. Stuff that kept you outside. I got stung by 2 yellow jackets at the same time on my knuckle. I'll never forget trying to catch them in a big old pickle jar, had some little 4-leaf clovers in there, just little foliage like we was making a real, uh, a visual, but it was cool. Just something we just picked up. I just picked up from watching older kids, and it was beautiful. Just being able to be outside, learn how to run and jump, and ever since I got out on the football field, I had an older cousin. He played for a team a year before me. He was about 4 years older than me, and he took me to practice with him one day, and it was over because they were older. And I always hung around him, so he was like my little mentor. He was my first cousin. His mother and my father were brother and sister. And he could throw the ball. He showed me how to throw. He's left-handed. I was left-handed, so we could, like, know how to throw the football real good. As basketball, I think I was a little better because when I played with guys my age, I just used to not dominate, but I would be in the score. I would be in the top scorers. Sometimes I would be the top scorer, but I was always first or second. So, and I was cool with that because I wasn't. Again, football was my first love, and the fact that I've been coaching and playing now, it's wild. With the young man that I have now, that's always been a wow. It amazes me now because I'm looking like, man, these kids don't even see the life that I'm trying to talk through. You know what I'm saying? See the life that's ahead of them. They have a long way to go. And I ain't gonna lie, every kid on the team is a good kid. They don't talk back. They on the football field, they be like, I got him. No, I'll be like, okay, oh, you right, coach, you right. And every time I ask them what happened, they can break it down to me. I'm like, now see, why do all that work and not complete the play? And then when they start doing it, they be like, oh, I can do it. Yes, you can. All along, you could do it. Now we just got to continue to get better, and eventually it clicks for some players. Yeah, eventually it clicks. Now, again, the boys, even the 8th grade boys, I'm talking about some big boys. I'm talking about at one time they had a line. Shoot, the line was standing almost 6 feet. I'm only 5'9 3/4. That's it. I've been this size since I was in the 8th grade. I got there and stuck. But I'm talking about these guys. They all over me at least 3 or 4 inches, at least. And I'm talking about, you can say it's 6 of them, 8th graders, 200, 210, which is overweight for a boy like that because 8th grade, you supposed to be like 160, 170, solid. Solid, yeah, 8th grade. Yeah, I was playing basketball and football in 8th grade. Yeah, people didn't know what position I played. They'd be like, man, what you play? I'm like, I'm going to do running back. What? And then I could throw the ball, learn how to throw. Just because I used to go watch the older guys again at the high school and throw on the football. I ain't gonna think, I know in my senior year, I was throwing the ball 60 yards, and this is what the teammates and the managers would measure. I'm just saying it now, but in that time, other people verified it for me, so I'm cool with that. I played running back mostly through high school. My high school coach, he was a redneck. He was a racist, for real. He was racist, for real. I was one of the only people we had. We only had like 34 players. And out of the 4 years, I won 4 games, which was crazy. Yeah, no, hold on. I won 4 my senior year. Freshman year, I played freshman. I didn't want to play with the people don't know this, but me and Justin Fields' father, we played football as youngsters against each other. And he went to the same high school, but he was a senior when I was a freshman. And I didn't play with them when he was a senior. When he saw me, he called me out because I didn't know he went to that school. He's like, man, we used to play you. He told me we played for him. I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, you put me out of the game. I was like, I remember that hit. I remember that hit. And I was probably like 9, 10, maybe 9, 10. So I remember that hit and they put him out of the game because I knew his name. He knew my sister. I had a sister who was 3 years older than me. And he was 3 years older than me, but he played on the same Little League team as me because I played a year before I was supposed to play. I should have been playing Pee Wee, but I was a big 9. And I was fast and I could hit and I could do all the football stuff. I had that, and in basketball I could shoot. I could dribble enough to shoot, especially when I was young, but I could shoot the ball. And, I didn't play with that. And then he's always been a good guy. I think when he moved to the ATL, I joined the service, but it was all in that time. And it was a great move for him, man, because, he has a son that plays great football. I think he's only going to get better. He's at the right team. So, shout out to Pablo and Justin, man. But yeah, now see, that's another example of good coaching. Father coaching his son. Yes, boom, because his father, he was that man. Don't get it twisted. His father was that man. In high school, yes, he was that man. But the coaches that I coach with, no, they're wild. I've never been a part of, that's probably the worst coaching group I've ever been a part of. Yeah, it's probably the worst coaching group. I've never been around coaches that constantly curse, tell players that they scared, that they weak. I've never been around it. I've never been around it. And see, I'm not one of the boys, so I don't go out. I'm not drinking with coaches and hanging out. I don't do all that, When I'm there, I focus on the kids, and the flow of the practice and the skills that are being developed. That's my focus. But no, because when I got there, especially 7th grade, they know what they was doing. 8th grade, they was fronting like, they burst like, when the coach is always yelling and projecting to a player that, man, you ain't doing it right. Those are not coaches. Those are not coaches, because a coach can be able to see that, whatever they're doing wrong, and teach the correct technique. And then you do the correct technique so many times that it becomes repetitious, like muscle memory, as they say, but it's repetition. And then the instinct of the instinct has to kick in, because that's helped you sort of see the ball and make the play, catch it, throw it, whatever. And then the heart. The heart is probably the most important, especially when playing, sports at a high level, the heart, because even when you're going against somebody who may be comparably better or even, you have to still be able to make plays sometimes a little bit more than they can, but sometimes they may get the best of you, but it's still like back and forth, one-man battle for, 60 minutes. Every man has a battle to win. So at the end, the team will win the war. But, that's football. That's just my football language. Especially when I'm coaching. Just let the kids, this is just one-man battle. A play is 5 seconds long at the most. Keep your man, if you're on offensive line, keep your man from making the tackle. You did your job. On defense, try to be on all the tackles, as many tackles as you can, especially at that level. The players sometimes determine, the coaches, if you know how to coach, you have a structured system where the players can just show their talents and you feed into their talents. But as far as the schemes, they have to be precision. Precision as far as the line block, the receivers catch, the quarterback throw, the running backs run and catch, tight end block, run, catch, all of those things. All of those things makes the team like precision, but then the talents will show into the play and you just play and call plays according to their talents. And then it's a win-win situation. But I do know in all of my years of coaching, you're never supposed to tell a player that's been under your tutelage for 2 months, 3 months, that they're weak, that they're scared. That's the worst thing you could ever do. That means you didn't play the game, or you was just on the team with a uniform on, or you was some other type of dude that just got into. Now, I would never compare a kid. They could be my grandchild to me playing. I could never do that. But this is what I'm with. These are the coaches that I'm with. So myself, I just sort of just go to the players in a sense. I've seen so much bad stuff, I've heard so much cursing. I've heard that so much. Now, in the practice, we have 3 coaches, right? Now this is where it's all, I know this is my only season there. But I'm going to talk to the AD, the athletic director, and see what can go down. Because most of them are drinking buddies. Sons been coaching, so they all know. It's a group about 8 of them, so they all know. They know each other. They hung out and barbecued together. I'm not that type of guy. But as far as coaching the players, no, it's the worst ever. In the practice, we got 3 coaches coaching. Then come game time, it's 12 people on the sideline yelling at the players. Then some of them only yell at their son. What type of coaching is that? Then you in the game telling them what they ain't doing, but the teams ain't even, moving the ball, scoring. Football, another coach, this is what throws me off. Some coaches, they shouldn't be coaches because I don't think that they think the other team prepares for the game. If another team who has a good coach is preparing to play the game. So football is going to be back and forth. Sometimes if you can go to a game and each team is moving the ball and the score ends up 3-3 or 3-0, that's one of the greatest football games you could ever be a part of right there as a player. Now for the fan, the cheerleaders, I like the cheerleaders, the cheer. Even the guys be cheerleaders, so I like it. Cheer for me, yeah, keep it moving. But for the cheerleader on the sideline, they don't like it. Especially guys. I don't like it. They scored 3 points. Man, that's a hell of a football game right there. I mean, nobody refused to give up. Everybody played their position well. Everybody won their battle. And again, in football, sometimes it's just 1 or 2 mistakes that could cost you a game, a fumble or something. But as a coach, the worst thing you could do is ever tell young players who are full of emotion, full of feelings, that you're weak, that you cannot do it. That's all they hear every day. I'm like, and me, Believe me, if I was young, I would have did it probably the ghetto way. But no, I'm way past that. My mind is already prepared to move and shift. But I'm talk to the AD at the end when we do our little evaluations and keep it moving. But what I'm a part of, what I see, no, it's the worst example ever of coaching. I never had coaches like that. And I've played on some hard coaches that taught me the game, taught me how to play hard, never cursed me. Hell, my father didn't. He cursed me, but I was deserving of it. But as far as teaching the game of football, no. Mm-mm. Any game of sports, anything. You never tell the players that they scared. And here we are. I heard it today a couple of times. Like, what? We done won 5 games straight. I got there sort of late, about a week or two before the first game, so they wasn't doing a whole lot of practicing skill positions. Even any position, they just don't know. Everybody got this PlayStation style now where they just want to run the little offenses and set it up, which is it looks good on paper, but if you can't teach the players how to be physical and play through the play that's designed, then you may not have success. Be a whole lot of players out there a little timid, scared, but all that can be handled in practice. That's the good. But if you're not practicing that way, then come game time when everybody want to see, a lot of people just want to come to the game and seem like they got all these nice plays designed. Now, on a level like that with young kids, young boys, you don't need a whole lot of long drawn out. Everything got to be quick and counters, quick, quick, quick. You know what I'm saying? Off tackle, quick short passes, quick. But hey, that's just me. And when you need to spread and do all that, you do that, cool. But starting out the game, no. It's mano and mano early in the game. But again, I'm a coach. That's my way of seeing it, especially football. You can yell at players. You can be loud. But to tell players that they're weak and they're scared, stop being scared, and don't let it's just as a parent, if I had a son on a team like that, I would immediately snatch him off and just have a meeting with the coaches immediately with all the parents and tell them that's the worst style ever. I would do that. But thank God I'm not in that position. But being a coach, try to talk to them. Incident. Crazy. We done won 3 games straight. And this is why I know they don't know. This is when I checked out. We got won 3 games straight. As a team, especially 7th grade, they've been tackling well, getting over the fear because we in practice. I have this one-man sled. I use it as a tackling dummy because you really got to put some force in it. So I take them over. Now, they wasn't even trying to use it. I asked them, it's a few brothers. It's about 5, 6 brothers. None of them play football. None of them. Dude tried to tell me he played receiver. He don't even know how to take the hand off. He had the wrong arm up, the arm, and the ball was hitting the guy. He's like, I said, man, that ain't how you, yeah, that's how you do it, coach. Then I was like, man, that ain't how you take no hand off. I said, man, what position you play? I play receiver. And they said, no. Then I guess he went and asked somebody, like, man, I told him. And they told him, like, no, man, you don't take it like that. Because they know. And after that, they been real distant. They been staying away from me. And I'm telling you, half of them don't even speak, which is crazy. So anyhow, we're doing a drill where they've been doing the same little stupid drill where they just have 2 lines, one guy run towards the sideline, other guy just come across and they just hit, tackle, whatever. Now, I'm telling the team, because I'm going through talking to them like, man, y'all been doing good. Y'all getting better on this field, man. Y'all tackling good. Because we had a game where we had a little breakout where everybody was hitting good. And so the head coach, again, he always seemed like he drunk. He walks past like, coach, stop telling them that. I said, stop telling them what? That they doing good. Huh? They not doing good. Because on the little drill, they be like, man, I don't be, it seems like they ain't trying, but they trying. They getting better. He said, don't be telling them they doing good. That ain't the right thing to say. They not doing good. I'm like, dang. Why would you say that? They doing good. Because he just butting in. So the next day, we doing the same drill. The same drill. You know what this fool walked over in front of all his buddies. See, I ain't the buddy. I ain't all his buddies and all the players, all the coaches. He comes over there, right? Now he's supposed to be 8th grade, but he in front of everybody. Stop listening to other coaches. Only listen to me. I looked at everybody else like, y'all coach me. Oh, okay. Let me go on and get up out of here. It was over. I act like I don't see him. I was like, no. And then that ain't it. We go to the game. We had a game last Thursday. Little kid named little kid, man. Little brother, man. Game, he all right. He all right. Once he learn how to run, like get his speed up, he gonna be great. But he's all right. He know how to see the ball. He can make good tackles. He can catch. He just run funny because his feet, like kicking him in the back of the butt, which you can't run like that as a running back. You'll get smashed out there. Somebody have you up under the garbage can. But he has great instinct. And soon as he learn how to run, he gonna be all right. So he left his helmet, I guess, he playing, and they like again said, they good kids, they talk, they diverse. So he left his helmet back at our locker room because they got a little locker room and everything. And so then they was on him. I guess they would just beat him up all the way on the bus because I ain't know because he in 8th grade. Then in the game, I think he made a bad play, messed up. Now I'm over there talking to him like, now see, what what I'm saying? I'm trying to, why the coach come over again in front of the team he just snatched them from me, talking about don't be babying them. I'm like, this fool is crazy. I'm like, I just went over and made to start typing on my phone like, let me put all this crazy shit I done heard down. Sports? Coaching? Man, please. Man, please. If you're a type of coach like that, you're not a coach. And guess what? The 8th grade team, all those big boys, they won their first 2, then they lost 2 in a row. They just started fading. They was getting hurt. Even in warm-up, they got somebody, but it's not precision warm-up. It's injury-prone type of warm-ups. And that's the thing. But all that comes through the coaches. All of that comes, nobody's teaching technique. Everybody just teaching, why you this? You scared? Do this. Players don't learn like that. Players don't learn, especially with a group of kids like that. I don't know how many of y'all ever coached a team, but if you have a group of kids and you just walk in and they're doing a team activity, whether it's singing, dancing, rapping, I don't know, forming, if they doing it as a team, you can get no better than that. That team is a championship style of team. And that goes from Pee Wee, Little League, all through college, NFL. Because the teams that usually are successful in the NFL, those guys hang out together. It might be a few that straggle off, but for the most part, those guys get together and play a little football. And it's, but again, it's just very interesting how here I am today in my 50th season that, again, because I interviewed through the athletic director, not through the, are we boys and we going to go over here, because it's also a little league cluster, like a little Pop Warner league, and they in charge of that, but they using the school's facilities to fund that. So I'm like, oh, okay, because it's another coach that came with me. He's a new guy too, but he do 8th grade. But his style, he fade right in. That's all they do is yell at him. That is all they do. Have none of them showed them how to play the position. Now me, I teach a player how to play the position, because if you're gonna play whatever position, you have to do it like I show you. Other than that, then I just switch him out, and then somebody will get it. And then the guy that knows how to do it, he'll come around. Now you got him and the new guy that came around and got it. Now you got 2 weapons. You got more than one, especially at that level. If you got 25 players should be playing both ways. Everybody. If you got 35, everybody should be playing. Everybody, even if they ain't on offense or defense, they on kickoff return, punt, they doing something because they all are there together and everybody, hanging out and working and, but that's just me rambling as a coach, because if you have a group of young men or young women, whatever sport, you just teach that team spirit, teach the right techniques. You got to, and again, they have a lot of emotions going on. A lot of feelings are involved with young people like that. So you have to sort of coach it up, as they say, encourage it. Mistakes are going to happen in sports. It's going to happen. You can make a mistake and twist your ankle. When you should have did it like this and you wouldn't have twisted your ankle. No, that's stupid. But it's just part of the dynamic of coaching. A player, especially first year, they may be big. Look at you. You'd be like, man, he's bigger than me. But if he's going to play a position, I have to coach him to play that position. A lot of guys don't know how to do that. And it has nothing to do with football. It's just pretty much any sport. They're just only looking for things that a young person is doing wrong. And that's not a good coach. And like I said, what I've seen all summer, and then at the game, and then that kid ended up getting hurt. He's out. He may not even play, because now to the playoffs, he may not even play no more. 5 of the best 7 players are out. One of them's trying to come back too soon. He messed his knee up. He's trying to come back, but I don't know if he's going to be 100%. I think he's coming back too soon, if you ask me, because they still have a good group of kids, nice size, but as far as football, they need a lot of coaching. And they'll do it because they listen. All the kids listen. This is an Asian kid. Shoot. I don't know. That boy out there like a fried piece of chicken. Nice size, very nice. Say yes, sir. Nice size. Solid. He out there like, oh my God, if you fell on him, you'll probably sink in like old waterbed. But again, all it comes down to coaching, not getting the opportunity, not putting them in those positions to sort of fight through the fear. Because if you have fear in football, you're not going to be successful. If you have fear in football, it's going to show in your eyes. It's going to show in your movements. Because when you have fear in any sport, for real, you move like a robot. You seem sort of timid in your movements and your steps, but initially, especially starting out, you can be like that. But then once you get over that contact, then especially in football, you should be okay. If you get over the knowing you're going to have to get tough and tighten your, tense up and put some muscle to muscle and neck to neck and, leg, it's just a different little, collision type, like two Hugo, like Steve Urkel cars just colliding, because it's one white kid. I started talking to him, and got him to start locking in. They got him playing with the 8th grade. Now, he can see that ball. He know how to attack that ball at linebacker. He play linebacker. He's like, he's right there. I talk to him all the time. I said, man, if you grow a little bit, because right now he's about 5'7", something like that. I said, you grow about 5, 6 more, grow about 6 foot, work out, and he's one of the hardest workers on the team. I said, you get to high school, get on that weight program. I said, you'll probably have a growth spurt and be over 6 foot. I said, you can play that linebacker. You can play that linebacker for real, because he has the instinct. And he know how to close in on the tackle. That's always good. And he can catch, too. They got him doing a little few passes. He's caught 2 touchdowns, nice little runs. He can come out of tight end position and catch that ball and run. And he know how to give a hit. That's even better. He know how to protect his legs. So at that age, he's good. Another little small kid, little mixed kid. I was talking to him on the game before the bus. And he asked me questions, because he asked me questions. I said, well, if you got the wingspan, you got the legs, you got that body, man, where you can run somebody down. You don't let nobody, score a touchdown. And I ain't gonna lie, in that game, I think he chased somebody down about 60 yards and caught him. Caught him at the 5 or something, and they didn't score. I just seen them little long legs sitting across that field, and he's not afraid to hit. He used to contort his body. I said, you can go up and contort your body a little bit. I said, you can catch the ball. Just come down, protect yourself. He's going up for the ball. He's catching it too. He's going up for it. He's playing great. It's like, wow. And then another little black kid, I talked to his mom, Elijah. He got the good, locks in his head, a little soft. He got braces. He's starting to get better. His confidence is high. It's in the play, in the game, in practice, I don't think he liked to practice, but at the next level, he can grow out of that with the right coach, especially if he get a little size on, a little more muscle on him, because he's a nice little size. He's going to be tall because he got a tall frame. And he's getting better. He's making plays on the defensive line because they had him at defensive end. Now he's playing defensive tackle, and he's sort of dominating that. Little black kid, another little black kid, he's an athlete. He's an athlete. He can throw. He can catch. He can run. He's just slow. He's slow. But he got every time he get the ball, he get like 10, 12 yards. But for a guy his size, he got that little running back, little quickness, little Darren Sproles little type of game, but he's too slow. He ain't. Every time he's broke, they've caught him. But he got an arm on him. He can play. Then there's another little kid, Elijah. This kid look like he just hanging out. He got great instincts. He has great instincts. He can play the ball. He got him a touchdown, interception, ran it back. He has great instincts. Little kid, like he ain't even interested sometimes. But he got that deceptive speed. I think he's going to be pretty good too. Who else is getting better? One little lineman, big boy, live with his grandma. He get top, but he's getting better though. He's blocking better. I showed him how to really handle that block today, and he was all right. Yeah. So, but they be dogging. They had him crying today. They just beat the players up, even in practice. They curse them in the game, in the practice, and they curse them in the game. Now, granted, we're 5-2. First 2 games, yes, because they just I had to start going. I'll go to each player. It's a set of twins, little white guys, little set of twins, man. They short, both of them slow. But one of them can kick and tackle. He ain't afraid to tackle. He'll get in there and tackle. And the other one can catch. He'll intercept the ball. He done caught a few little interceptions. And he know how to play the ball, but they slow. Yeah, they ain't chasing nobody. If they do, it's gonna be yeah, they ain't doing nothing. But they got the motivation. I think I tell them all the time, y'all get faster. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be okay. Y'all be able to play. So yeah, so I'm just gonna end it on my little football soliloquy. It's been exciting. The playoffs is Thursday, first game. I think they should win that game. Coaches talk about, I got y'all rings already. Y'all win. Man, you don't tell a kid that, man. This is the playoffs, man. We need all hands on deck. Because as soon as they start doing something, and because other teams are getting better, and they come out and play discipline the other team, and then they're going to be on the sideline cussing them out. So, man, listen, man. Again, I'm going to give a shout out to the young fellas. Hopefully we can go ahead and take it all the way to the end. I think it's like 3 playoff games. If we can get those, we'll be in the if we get 2, we'll be in the championship. And the teams we played so far, I think we'll be okay. But as far as if you ever want to be a coach, you want to coach your son or daughter, never tell them that they're weak or scared. If you don't know how to teach them how to play the game or activity that they participate in, take them to somebody who does and let them work with them. You just go to the game, cheer whenever you see your baby running. That's all you got to do. Don't say boo. Don't say none of that. Say get them, go, good game. That's it. Whether they win or lose. That will build a lot of motivation and courage for your child. That will do that. We have the Olympics coming up in 4 years. A great time to get our children out of the house, learn some of these little sports, dedicate a little time, a couple days a week, and it'll change yours and your child's life. I promise you, it will. And it's in LA. It's a great time to go to California. And your baby can be a participant in the Olympics. Why not? But maybe I'm dreaming. And I hold on to this dream because I believe it's going to happen. I do. I believe it's going to happen. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, just thank y'all for coming out. Hit the like button, share, subscribe to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. Hit the like button, share, subscribe to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. You know, I'm going to just transition into my topics. You know, I'm going to provide a little information. And then I saw this video. I was like, man, it's starting to just play itself out, you know. But I was like, okay. And I think in our society, and I'm not gonna say nothing about it, we just find something that's good and we'll gnaw it all the way down to the nub, you know. So again, I'm just gonna give out a little information on, you know, it's a lot going on, a lot of changes taking place. And let me get into my first slide. So, you know, as far as culturally, there is going to be a cultural shift, you know, and it's going to be a transition of people who are really not secured in where they are. And regardless of where you go in the country, you know, you do want to be prepared. You do want to be in a position to keep yourself and your family safe, you know, with technology forever changing. You know, we have to sort of be on the go because, you know, prices are very high all over the country. It's hard to live in apartments now by yourself. It's hard to, you know, really try to sustain a life that you may have had pre-COVID, you know, and, you know, you need $10,000 more today than you did in 2020. $10,000 more. Of course, they say inflation, but really our inflation is just caused by these two fronts that we're on. You know, these wars of support with the Far East and the Middle East. These two fronts. It's, again, America supports that dynamic with financial resources and supplies. They do both. And it trickles down from the people's resources. Well, it's coming off the top of the country's resources, which is, you know, really not good for the common working people, you know, especially people of color, especially, I don't know, the few million people that are on welfare and things like that, disability, unemployed, you know, at least the 50% of America, you know, just 'cause somebody can fit in one of those categories. People making under $50,000 a year, which is about 50%, making about $50,000 a year or less. I think it could be lower than that, like $39,000, which, again, inflation, if you just take out 20% of that 40,000 and then just take the rest and divide it up by 12, and that's how much you living off of a month, when you look at it, your rent is close to what you would bring home. Even in a working job, some of these low tier jobs, the restaurant jobs, um, a lot of jobs without degrees, unless you have a certification like a welder, plumber, fabricator, those things are just like degrees, but they're specific for that job, which is great if that entity is flourishing, it's of high demand, and you see now with the AI and the technology, a lot of that today is high demand. So I think for those who want to be in that space, I think they really need to just try to I don't, work together in a sense, because that's going to be one thing that could really hurt you or me, you know, in our lifetime. It really can. It can really hurt us. It can hurt us, hurt our families, but how many of us are willing to try to work with each other? As I've been saying, cutting a deal before you start getting gray hair, and when you are alone at an older age, it's hard to keep up with stuff. You may hoarder stuff, you might just hold on to it because you feel like that's all you got, but it's hard to keep up with, especially documents, paper documents. A lot of people still try to hold on to paper documents as memorabilia, stuff like that. But it's certain things now with the technology you can utilize that could improve your ability to, at least, you may not be able to have some things you don't really need the originals for, but it's best to keep all of the important originals, deeds, insurances, medical, precious jewelry, go, sealed safety container, something like that. Keep that together, but you have to be able to access it very easy in the time of an emergency, in case you had to just get all your shit and go, stuff like that. But even in, with the technology of today, and, you sort of have to keep up with it and sort of be, readily available and readily able to move in an instant. And this is my military thinking, in the military, every day you prepare as if you're going to go and take care of business. And every day, sometime for a week or two, you'll go and you'll just do your job, whatever it is. You'll take out all your supplies, you'll count everything up, and you'll put it up, and then you'll do your job, and then you'll come back. And the next day you'll come out, lay out all your supplies, count them up, roll them up, go do your job, come back. And all this is done before 5, 6 o'clock, pretty much, for the most part. Every day, 5 days a week. 5 days a week. And then when it comes down to, say, we have to deploy, guess what? You're going to come, lay everything out, count it up, roll it up, you're going to go. You ain't coming home for a while, couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months. And, if you ever have that type of experience, then you sort of understand being prepared for the next move, the next step. And what I've seen in the change of, just technology and information, and I was saying about paper, now you can sort of have those things readily available without all of the documents. You can have a backup. And this is, unique to have, where you can get these, flash drives, and they come in all shapes and sizes, believe me. They even have them for the phone now. I got some for the phone. Very small. Let me see. Well, yeah, here it is for the phone. These things work for the phone right here. And I can plug it in, download documents. These work for regular computers, of course. You can just put all of your information here. on this document. Just create a survival flash drive is pretty much what you can name it. Put some red tape on it. Some like this one can be made into like put on your keychain or something like that. And look, it has a port for the regular computer too. So this is a two-sided, which makes it very unique. I think this is like a 64 gigabyte, 120. I buy either 64 or 120 because you can catch them on sale. And I just load them up with different information, different backups. You can take pictures of stuff. You can put pictures on them. Of course, you know that. But it's a lot that you can use them for, you know. And today, you see the weather. The weather sometimes gets violent, especially depending on where you are. I know they had a tornado. They had tornado, a couple of hurricanes, everything come through Texas. Texas get a little bit of everything. Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, Alabama. They always in the hurricane seasons because of that hot air coming from the south and that cool air coming from the north. And when it collides, it's one of the most devastating natural acts ever created by the gods, in the universe. So it's all coming from, the way the earth rotates and the sun and the wind and all of that plays a factor in it, which is, again, shout out to everybody that live in those regions and come out, especially the small islands. So, it's good to keep things, sort of readily available, flood, any type of natural disaster, again, hurricane, tornado. It's good to sort of start using the technology at hand, because this can always be uploaded onto somebody's computer, laptop, tablet, and be able to verify what you may have to say or show. You can do your driver's license, your birth certificates, social security cards, passports. Some people do that. Marriage certificates, like gun permit, veteran discharge papers. Yep, I have 10 backups of those. Work permits and licenses. Yep, a lot of time they may come in emails and stuff like that. You can just download them on here and always have it as a backup, immigrant papers. So, the immigrants, they going to keep their papers. They going to keep their papers, and pay attention to the immigrants, please, because they coming for some of these low-tier jobs that people want to say they want to get $20 an hour. Hopefully you can get one. If you get one, you better go to work every day, report to work on time. Don't be late. Don't be calling in sick. Don't do that. They will let you go. Most companies will become at-will companies, and they will let you go and get somebody else out there scrapping for a job. Because with inflation, everybody's going to need a job. Unless you're creative, but most poor people are not. I can't say that they're not creative. I don't think that they want to be creative. They just want to be given everything when they already have the skills and abilities and talents to do it themselves. Again, sometimes they just like the word that they use, intentionally being scared. But I can tell you now, you have the ability, and there's some other important non-government records you can have is medical records. Yeah, if you got some medical records, have that. Vaccination records, yes, because remember they gave you the COVID card. This is probably the first time anybody ever carried around a verification card with the COVID shot. Advanced directives, like if something happened, like wheels and stuff, if something happened to my wife, she got a plan for me. If something happened to me, I got a plan for her. We got a plan together, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Business records, like if you own a business, company, things like that, bank accounts, yep, credit card accounts, insurance, home, auto, real estate, mortgage, rental agreements, like if you own some properties, things like that, it's always good to have in case you need, let me get a quick copy because I'm renting this apartment. You ain't got to carry around all them papers. You can just, maybe keep you 4 or 5, then you get low, you run up on the Kinko's, what is that, Home Depot, Office Max, or Office Depot, Office Max, and just say print out a few copies for about $4. Especially if you know you're gonna get 500, 1,000. Little $4 don't mean nothing. If you got little contracts, wills, yep, power of attorneys, yep, divorce and custody papers, and restraining orders. So you can have your restraining order at the club, like plug this in. you know, again, photos, family pictures, emergency contact numbers, yeah, stuff like that. It's good to just have it on a jump drive. They come in all different sizes. I always get a 64 gig. You usually catch them under $10, about $10. A couple of 128s, and it'll probably 64, 128. I know will probably hold everything mentioned here. You can always keep things up to date. Each time you get a document, you have to change the date. You can just rename it the number 2 or number 3, save it as the same docket, just put a number and continue to go up. Then that way you'll have a copy of all of them. And because if something has to go back, what they call that, if something is grandfathered in on a certain date, then they can always retroactively go back and be like, okay, yeah, this was put in 2000. But the other documents going forward don't have it, but something is already in there. And then you can always reference that, and then you'll have a list all the way to the present day, which makes it cool because you can see where the changes were made, and then you can always connect some pieces to the puzzle that may not be connecting at that time. You just always put a little password on it, something simple that you can remember. Yeah, store it in a safe place. What's a safe place? You have a safe. You have something where you have a little box or something you can easily grab. Just somewhere where you know that if there was a situation where you had to move quickly, you can just grab it and go and have all the documents that you need, which is really cool to have. Like I said, I get them all the time. And just have a few. Right now, I got I got 3 unused, little flash drives just in case I gotta, you know, take some documents with me somewhere. I can just download it, get where I gotta go, upload it, print it, boom, disconnect it, and I'm on the go. It's really cool like that. It's really cool, just make sure that when you do sort of like store it, put it in like a safe place, a safe, cool, dry place, something like that. Get in a sealed waterproof bag is always good to have. Something like that, some nice waterproof bags to have. I have some military style waterproof bags that sort of hang like a duffel bag. I have a couple of those. So it's good to use stuff like that. Yeah, and you can put it on your keychain, all of that good stuff. Put it in your purse, your wallet, something that's fireproof. If you got it in a safe, all of those things can be something that's fireproof. Maybe have a smaller little little something that's sort of fireproof, safe. You have it in like most safes are fireproof for about 30, 40 minutes. And you can put it all in a nice little carry bag. Even if you got some documents and the flash drives, have it all in the carry bag. Boom, boom, boom. Grab it. Boom. Throw it over your shoulder. Make sure it's zipped all the way up when you ain't using it. Have all your important birth certificate, insurance papers, health records. Get all that, and you move accordingly. So I think that's always good. What I'm saying, to have. I think it's really, especially as today's times. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what's going to happen when they sort all of this new presidential chaos out. You don't know. And one day you can have a pretty normal, almost to normal situation, and the next day you may not have anything, and you may have to move about because jobs are going to be different. Living arrangements and housing is going to be different. It's unfortunate a lot of people are living in, homes and rental properties that are really subpar because owners of those properties are very, I ain't gonna say they just don't care. They're gonna get the money regardless, you know. And again, when you're renting those properties, how well are you taking care of it yourself, you know? So it's gonna be really interesting, you know, to see how this plays out because again, we got two fronts going on, two of them. It's billions and trillions of dollars going to these conflicts outside of America while there's an election going on. Why don't America concentrate on building its resources? It's, in a sense, itself building the people. I would say that. Train these young brothers. Whoever gets in office, put them out there, put them in the training facilities. Put them to work. They can't run around the downtowns and the neighborhoods freely. Parents, put your children in some activity. It'll change your life. I don't know how y'all think about it, but it'll change your life. Yes. All these, you know, the Olympics, Simone Biles will probably be retired, having a couple of children. It'd be a great time to get somebody else Biles or somebody else's baby up in there. Yeah. Instead of putting all that makeup and weave on them. Yeah, instead of letting the boys sag their pants and wear them little tight pants all up and down their legs like leg warmers. Our stretch pants, they just male stretch pants to me. Why not? They gonna wear some little tights, put them out there on the gymnastics floor where they can flip their way to superstardom, tumble their way. Matter of fact, surf. I would love to see a couple of brothers in the surfing contest. That would be great. That's California. Even Florida. I would love to see some young brothers surfing in the Olympics and whooping that ass because I believe it could happen. Because if we do it, we're going to be good at it. I do. I can see that happen. I don't know what other sports. I think they took breakdancing out. Why? Because they should have never put nobody white. It should have been somebody black in the damn breakdance. The hell y'all doing, America? Shit started in the projects of black neighborhoods. Should have went across every city and said, man, give me y'all best breakdancer. And just had a competition on live TV. It would have been the greatest spectacle of dancing ever. What's up, Hassan, man? Salute to you, man. Appreciate you, man. Haven't seen you lately, man. We had to chop it up one time, man. For real. So, you know, it's about survival. Being ready to move. Being ready and prepared for your family to get safe, to a safe place. You know, it's that time. You know, pass the information. Because what's the old saying? If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And again, with the technology changing, it's good to sort of, I guess, bring some stuff, you know, just sort of, what is it? Minimize the bulk of things in your, you know, like documents and stuff like that. You can just put them on a simple flash drive. Change your life. I promise you it will. It will change your life. And, you know, just be prepared. And again, man, you know, I just go through my life, especially being retired, and just always trying to see how I can better myself because, you know, I read certain things, you know, just about survival and life and, you know, listen and take certain mantras on and things that can, you know, always keep my mind sort of sharp and positive, you know, just to be better. And again, when I say better, not just better for myself, but for my family, for my friends, you know. And I think sometime in getting better, you know, I could be wrong, but it's like everybody ain't seeing your better at the same time, you know, and they not may not know how to sort of understand the better that you're making, which is okay because it's for you. It's for your betterness, not for them. They'll have to do theirs in their time. I just always like to be supportive in their time. I don't, look at it as like, okay, why I don't even question it. I just receive it. As long as they are being friendly towards me, I just receive it, but I don't think everybody does that towards me sometimes because sometimes I can see it. But again, I wouldn't change any of it for the world, man. I wouldn't know what to do without it, but at the same time, I can't let it, just take hold of me. So, always, when I come across stuff, I try to hold on to stuff and see how I can apply it to my life and see how I can use it to just transition me into the next year, and getting better. And so yeah, this flash drive is always good. So if you're thinking about going through somewhere, you're on the go, just start downsizing a lot of bulk items. You can put on flash drives and just dedicate those flash drives to that particular entity, whether it's, pictures, paintings, important documents, things like that. So again, and we transition to the next slide. Let me see. So here, just a little saying. Sometime, I came across this again, and it sort of plays right into who I've always tried to be. Again, there's levels to life. I don't think people really accept it like that. There's levels to life. I tell anybody, if you're 30, I'll change. I'll take 30 and you take my 50. See how you can handle the 50. But I think it's always best to just embrace where you are. Just embrace where you are. So just a simple list, 6 ethics of life. Before you pray, you got to believe. How many of y'all pray and don't believe? And the belief has to be in whatever you believe that's going to get you to the next level or get you to the safe place. And that can be mentally, physically, emotionally. Emotional and mental sort of go hand in hand. Financially, all the leads. And, you can believe first, then pray, or you can pray. And this is where the praying is sort of unique in itself, because if some people pray and then they get what they prayed for or something close to what they prayed for, then they believe. But some people pray, and if it don't come when they think it is, or they try to pray it to come into that time, and they don't get it, then they don't believe no more. So it's like, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? But along with that praying, in your believing, you got to put in some work towards that, regardless of what it is. It's reading more, learning a skill more, just getting more information, sitting still, just not rushing to the next step in whatever you're trying to do. Like, I want to get my apartment, this, I feel like, caught up in the feeling of the moment. Sometimes it can throw you off. When, if you do pray, you have to just sort of embrace it and continue to move forward and to go, whether you want to go to college, graduate, join the military or not. One of the things I did, I never forget a lot of stuff in my life. When I stepped off the plane in Saudi Arabia, it was sort of dusk. It wasn't quite dark, but I was on the airfield. We got off in the middle of the airfield, so I'm ducking planes. I'm seeing C-130s and C-140s and 50s, big planes. And we came over on a C-130 thing, a fucking supply plane. No windows out the view, none of that. It was I was flying backwards. I was sitting back. We was all sitting backwards and the plane was going forward. That's how it was. It was only like 25. And I never forget, I came off that plane. As soon as I got to touch feet on ground, because I got my pads on, I got a duffel bag, I got my weapon, I'm combat ready. As soon as I touched feet on ground, I just prayed. I just prayed. I don't know all of my prayer, but I do remember saying, God, I know I will make it back home safe and unharmed. And when I got to moving around in the country, it was the greatest experience ever. It was the greatest experience ever. I came back. The only bad thing that happened while I was in Saudi Arabia, while I was there, I was accumulating little memorabilia of the country. I was doing that. I had a box of stuff, like 2 boxes. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna send this to my base so when I get back, I can have it. I can take it home. I didn't think to send that shit straight to my house, which I should have did, because when I got back, the fools that stayed there, they went through it. I ain't seen none of that. They took all that shit. The fools that stayed back, that did not go to Saudi Arabia, took all my stuff. Took it out. So I lost it all. Good stuff. I kept a few things, which really no value at the moment, but yeah. But I was able to go around the country. I was running, we used to run along the Persian Gulf. I was going downtown in Riyadh, and I moved around in the country. I was in the combat zone a few times. I actually worked in the combat zone for about 3 months. And that was cool. It was only 1 day on, 3 days off. Had a little basketball court in the hard sand. Yeah, the sand was hard. It wasn't none of that on. It was like rock, but it was hard. It was sand. Ate hot breakfast. Sat with generals. I used to sit with generals and colonels. So I used to get all the information, all the news. I used to get it all. I used to sit right there, boom, right next to him, old private, not even in 6 months. I think I was in 7 months, just straight out of school. And I used to sit with him. We used to go to the same gym, because in the middle of the desert, there was a big Olympic-sized training facility. It had a boxing ring, a swimming pool, a half-mile track around it, a big old basketball court, about 8 basketball courts, a couple other things they had, weight room, all that good stuff. Right there, and it was probably like half a mile from where we were stationed out in the combat zone. Just a minute of some tents lined up. I talked about it before, but yeah. I prayed that day, and I think ever since I've been praying. Ever since. I've always believed that regardless of where I was going to go back to where I had to go safely. I always believed that. And when I came back, I was stationed in, I was over there, like I said, I moved around the country, went on helicopter. I used to be going to the mall, went to the mall. I did all that good stuff. We used to eat Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, all that was over. This was in 1990, 91, really 91. And I seen a lot. The country was beautiful. Beautiful. No dirt, no trash, low crime. Like I said, somebody go off in these other countries, they snap. They ain't just going over and trying to get revenge. Ain't none of that. Because everybody is the same and they think like that. But yeah, it was a beautiful experience. Over 6 months, when we was coming back, we went to like where they were stationed soldiers. It was a lot, a couple thousand soldiers, and they had bombed the barracks where we were stationed as we were exiting. They bombed that. I don't know if it was before or after. I think I had left. I think we had left, and then like a few days later, we heard about the bombing, and a few soldiers died. I think like 6, 8 hit the barracks, and that was a great experience. That was a crazy experience, but I got back safe. My last story about that, one day I was working. I worked 1 day on, 3 days off. I was asleep because I could sleep on the job. And I worked at the airfield, so if any soldier would come to a base, I would be the one that would pick them up, call. I would just make a phone call for transportation. Somebody come pick them up, take them back to where I go. We'll put them in a room, give them a little, they have a bed, something to eat. We're going to take care of them. Then they will make message to their unit, and their unit will send somebody the next day or the next 2 days to come pick them up, depending on where they were in the combat zone. See, and that's the thing about it. So then they would go back. They may have somebody may have came back from death in the family, child being born, just where they had to go back. So where their unit was, that's where they had to meet them at. And I had that great experience. And one day I just woke up. Again, I just woke up, sitting at my desk, sleep in my eye. The siren went off. We're in a little hangar. We ain't in no air. We're at the airfield. The airfield is different from an airport. We're in a little hangar that they done make shift. Got a little TV. I don't know what we was looking at, but I was asleep. And the sirens went off. So when the sirens go off, that means there's something coming. And you know the siren when you hear it. So everybody started going outside but me. I got my weapon. I ain't got no ammo in it. You know what I'm saying? I got my gas mask on. So I know the siren. So the first thing I do, I hit my gas mask. Boom, boom, boom. Seal it up. You don't know, you get hit it on the side, breathe. Oh, you can't breathe. Oh, you good. Because I had the filters on the side. You just put your hand over it. And then, okay. So I was sealed. So I'm sitting in the airfield, in the air hangar. Everybody else is going outside. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? I go outside, everybody looking up. And as soon as I come out, I look up because people were pointing. It was a flash in the sky. I never forget. A long flash. I said, oh, shit. And it was seemed like it was like I could have touched it and I do. It seemed like I could have touched it and what is it? But I knew it. I was like, oh, my God, that's a Scud missile. Because they accused him of having Scud missiles, and they were gas Scud missiles. But at the same time, on all airfields, they had the Patriot missile. They had them on pretty much scattered throughout where we were. They had them, but all airfields had major. So everybody looks up, sees the missile. You just saw a flash like a tail. And then you heard this, I heard it go off. The Patriot started, and all of a sudden the Patriot shot. So it went out, and I'll never forget it seemed like it hit it in the middle or the back. But it hit it, the Patriot sort of scattered off and went off, and then the missile or whatever it was scattered on. It's like it jarred it the other way. And then you saw a little flash, like poof. Like I guess it hit out in the real desert, because it can be hard rock here, but it was real desert everywhere. And about 5 minutes later, it was like all clear. I'm like, all clear? What are you talking about? I mean, it wasn't even 5 minutes later, probably like 2 minutes. I'm like, what the hell did I just see? They're like, yeah, man, that was a missile, man. He had launched a missile, man. And, I'm like, what? I'm like, man, I didn't come here for no war. I came here for the college fund. But that experience, man, it woke me up. It woke me up. It woke me up. Seeing that was the defining moment. Because other than that, I was shooting basketball. We was living in a nice little high rise. We was eating good, man. I was having fun, man. Had a couple of females in my little unit. We was in a compound. This is my last story. It's crazy. It was about 400 women. It was about 60 men. And yeah, I was wild, and I was young. I was buff. Used to walk around with no shirt on. Yeah, I was doing too much. That's when I had hair too. So yeah, it was good. And that 120-degree sun, it's just sun heat. So if your body was covered, you was good. And I'm light skinned anyway, so my tan was popping. But yeah, just having that old experience. Plus, we won a basketball tournament. That's what we did. All the ladies was out because the chaplain had set everything up, and it was our units because it was a unit from New York and Ohio, and there was a male unit. In my unit, we was all in the same compound. And man, we had a basketball tournament that day, and all of us is 5'9", 5'10", that was it. Like I said, I could shoot when I play ball. I could shoot. I could dribble and shoot. Plus, I was, left-handed and strong arm too because I played football, so you couldn't just push me around. You might catch one of these forearms or one of these shoulders because my shoulders was football shoulders. Yeah, we won that. little tournament. Everything was good after that. But, just a life of being in the military. So when I went to Saudi Arabia, I learned to pray. And I prayed often. I prayed often for real. And it kept me believing. It kept me safe. And sometimes I believe it and then I pray on top of it. So I just switching back and forth sometimes. And then another thing you learn this quick too. You speak before you speak, listen. Yeah. It depends on the audience sometimes, when I work with you, sometimes I listen, sometimes for the most part, I listen to what the problems are, the issues are. And then just based on my experience, before they can even finish, I already know what the solutions could be. And I just go give them the solution and just have them focus on the solution. And that seems to work because I let them understand, the problem is not what you want. Let that go. Focus on the solution. And when you focus on the solution, then they figure it out and then it works out. So I've always been big on the third one. Before you spend, earn. Yes, I have to work. I learned how to save money young. Like I said, I learned how to cut hair real young. So I learned how to save my little duckies. I had to wait till everybody else got paid before I spend because then I can cut some more hair and then they would pay me some more. So I wasn't really losing out. And when a lot of people didn't have money, I had money. So before you spend, earn. Yes, you should do that. Once you turn 21, you should always be trying to earn. Everything you get, you should try to earn. You should have no one giving you anything. Now, if you get blessed, that's different. Through your prayer and through your belief, through listening, and then you could get blessed. But again, you have to pray. And then the blessings may not come when you first pray. It may be some time in between because you still got to go through a little something. And then when the blessing is ready, when the blessing should come, it'll show up like, oh, thank you. I wasn't even expecting that. But that, again, comes sometime with earning and praying. Because when you're praying, you're earning. And along your earning, pray sometime. And sometime they'll come sooner than later. But again, before you spend, earn. Before you write, I think before you write and speak, think. Sometimes you might blurt something out without thinking. It happens, but for the most part, you should think about it before you write it. Think about it. And sometimes you can write it in the moment, but then think about it and then go back and revise it. So it's always, sometime depending on what it is, though. Depending on what it is. If you come up with a great idea and you're thinking about it, start writing it down. Write it down while you're thinking about it. And right now, like again, you don't have to write things down so much today. You can put it on your phone. And then take one of these jump drives that I talked about earlier and just download it from your phone. And then that way, when you come across an opportunity to print it out, you can have printed copies also, which would fare better when you're trying to sort of read it or convey it to others. So, just different techniques, Again, before you write, think. Also, before you speak, think also. Think before you speak and listen before you speak. So if somebody's talking, just listen. But before you just blurt something out, embarrass yourself, confuse yourself, sometimes just think about it. Before you get angry at others or lash out at others, sometimes think about it. Before you get mad at your son or daughter, sometimes just think about it. And this is a big one. Before you quit, try. How many of us struggle with that? Trying. We've already quit. In our mind, a lot of times we already quit. You don't have to quit. Just try it. Just try it. Let it work out for yourself.
It's 23
That's
hours.
a big one. Before you quit, try. Just try. I promise you, it'll work itself out. I promise you, it'll work itself out. I promise you, it'll work itself out. So before you quit, try. You know, sometimes you try. When you try, that means you're earning. And while you're trying, you're earning experience. You're gaining experience. You're earning the wisdom. You're earning the techniques because you're trying. And then along the way, you're praying. And when you start seeing success, then you believe. And you believe while you're praying and thinking and trying, and you may start to earn. So you have to be willing to think about the idea, try it out, listen to other scenarios, listen to other possibilities, believe that it's going to happen, believe it. If you think it, try it, listen, believe it, at some point you'll be able to earn it. Earn the money, earn the resources. And money is not the only thing that you should be seeking out of it. Because you still have to be able to do the last one is live before you die. And how many of us today are willing to live? Or do we just want to exist? I've heard that in some conversations. Do we want to just exist or live? And what does live consist of? That's up to you. That is totally up to you. That is totally up to you. But then some could say, well, that's just survival. I think instinctively we will survive. That'll happen instinctively. I think all mammals do that anyway. Instinctively, we will survive. We'll do things to help us survive. You know, where it ends up at, we don't have control of that, but instinctively, we want to do the things to survive. But who's willing to do the things that allows them to live? Meaning, go the places that you dream about, do the things that you dream about. You know, see the places you want to see. Talk to people you want to talk to. That's living. You know, creating the things you want to create, both physically, financially, all of those things. Who's willing to do that? Because it seems like it takes a lot, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Because I know in my experience on YouTube, most of us are adults. There's quite a few young adults, young brothers, young sisters who could really, really take advantage of this time. I believe so. I believe a lot of good young brothers and sisters could really, really take advantage of this time. So, again, before you pray, believe. Before you speak, listen. Before you spend, earn. Before you write, think. Before you quit, try. Before you die, live. Simple 6 ethics of life. Simple. So, again, I just get on and just think about things that I've experienced. Just try to bring to light some things to, assist people in trying to, just get to a better space because we all are here. We all are here. Regardless of how we got here, if you're able to talk, listen, speak, write, think, quit, try, pray, believe, then you're here. And you're here for a reason. Only you can figure that reason out. So, again, I just want to appreciate y'all for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, for real. I do. I want to appreciate you joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach. Hit the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferg at the Player Coach, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to go through this next slide. It's pretty simple. When I go through just, certain phases of life and certain moods, colors, play a big part in how you convey that feeling or mood across to others. Certain colors, acts as stimulators to certain moods and emotions. That's even on TV, commercials, movies, all of those things like that. The color that you see sort of plays within your psyche. And there's been studies on colors and how they actually play into that. Just go down this basic list here, and there's a whole spectrum of colors. There's colors can sometimes go by numbers, and a combination of numbers will exhibit a certain color, which is really unique. And then there's a combination of colors that will exhibit a certain color. But certain colors sort of stimulate a certain mood, emotion, things like that when you see it. It's really unique, as you dig into the colors. And I just have a few here and just sort of go down how they sort of play into our psyche as people, as humans, So red is always a great stimulator. Red can sometimes mean panic, red for emergencies, things like that. You see those colors in emergencies. Orange can be used as uplifting, promotes happiness. Orange, even in Halloween, it seems dreary, but it's still a good color. It's a fall color. And I think orange can be used across all seasons, except, of course, Christmas, they have its basic. But again, orange is always a good color. And there's more specific details that these colors can be used for. Yellow, symbolizes power. What else does that say? Health, yeah, and wisdom. Yellow can be used as that, especially different color yellows. There's gold yellow, all of those things. Pink represents love, romance, and partnership. Love, romance, and partnership. Pink, we always just simulate that with girls. Most girls wear pink. They say now if you're a guy and you wear pink, something wrong. You sassy or saucy. I used to wear pink all the time. Matter of fact, I like pink. I've always, in my time, it's been associated with women, but man could rock pink if it's the right outfit. And I used to rock this pink button-down polo shirt with some pink and green golf pants that fit real good on me. Every time I wore that outfit, I wore it about 4 times. I always got play in that outfit. Always. I was always, hey, what's your name? And it was on from her. So, yeah, pink. It's going to always represent love, romance, and partnership. Well, that's a new word, the partnership. So, yeah. Green, growth, new beginnings, healing, and freshness. When the summer comes, spring, the foliage grows on the trees. The trees are green and all that. Now we're coming into the fall. The fall season, celebration time is what we use the fall season for. So just the color combination, the orange. Green promotes growth. We like that money. New beginning. You go into a new area that you've never been before. Healing. You finally coming out of that dark space. Even in relationships, a lot of people say, you got to do some healing. For the most part, people just be seeing red. But then when you're in a good headspace, you more than likely see green. So again, that's just me. But the colors are what they are. And like blue greens represents youth, Yep, new beginning. See, green and blue sort of go together, new beginning, and inspires confidence. That little blue green, yeah, inspires confidence. So if you want to have I guess, a showcase or a party or something like that, it's good to study the colors for that, not just for that event, but what do those colors represent in your display? So the blue greens represents youth. So if you got kids, blue green is a good color. New beginnings, you having a child, you moving to a new place, some light blues, some blue green, and inspires confidence. Yeah. Nice little dress, nice little suit, something like that. You look good walking through the little venue with your outfit on. Deeper blues infuses wisdom and introspection. Yeah. Wisdom, introspection, excuse me. Yeah. So how do you look at that? You start wearing the blue suit, that little navy blue suit makes you look sort of serious on the job. Being able to look deep within yourself and, pat yourself on the back sometime without discouraging others. So, yeah, those deeper blue, even cars, you don't see. Now they got the cars pretty much of all spectrums. You hardly ever saw a car in the grays that they have. I saw one in this military beige, this Chevy pickup today. So the colors are widening as far as things you see in society, cars, homes. You can see doors, different colors now on homes. So, yeah, it's very interesting how the colors plays into the psyche of us as humans. So purple inspires spirituality, adventure, and prosperity. I know the Mardi Gras uses purple and golds, represents that power, and that, yeah, and prosperity. So the combinations together, the combinations sometimes can everything applies within the combinations. Spirituality, adventure, and prosperity. Yeah, everybody would like that. We like to be prosperous in anything that we do. And black, yeah. What does it say? It's a contemplative color that encourages reflection and misery. Oh, excuse me. See, I said misery. Now, see, that's my eyes right there. It's mystery. See, that black color, most black people, we think we look good in black. I don't know why. I wonder why most black people think they look good in black. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Yeah, that black. Contemplative color that encourages reflection and mystery. Yeah. Because even if you look down a dark alley, you're like, man, what's going on down there? Even if you don't see anything, like, I wouldn't even go down that alley right there. I ain't going down there, man. What's going on? You get to thinking like, oh, let me reflect. Hold up. It brings back a memory, even a black cat. People are afraid of black cats. I don't know why. I used to be afraid of them. Then I sort of like black cats. But again, I guess people have to go through these phases, go through the colors in their own life. And white cultivates clarity, precision, and communication. That's why you see black ink, white paper. Clarity, precision, and communication. So like on a job, that's why you get those manuals in black and white. They want to be clear on what the rules are, expectations are. I don't think most people read that. You should be reading that. Believe me, it'll help you. And gray invites helpfulness and represents a harmonious union of black and white. Yeah, gray. Sometimes people in the gray area. I love the BMU show, The Gray Area, with my brother Grooming and Mr. Bennett. Yeah, see, the gray area is not quite clear on where it is. The colors, the gray area. It can go either way in the gray area. harmonious union, but still, when it comes together, it looks beautiful. When that black and white come together, it looks beautiful. We can even apply it to our society. Just imagine if it could come together. Would we be grays? I don't know. Brown offers stability and security. Even in military uniforms, they used to have the brown in our patch throughout with the green, even the beige. Today, they have a little bit of brown, not too much, in peacetime. But uniforms, they come according to the time of peace. So, it's unique. It's unique. So, yeah, colors are always good. I think colors are real good. Colors are real good. When you go into workout, just being, I would say if you want to, again, have something that you create to come out to the world, to the public, I would advise you to study your colors. Just study your colors and see how the color combinations can convey your message. Because if you combine the right colors, then I think you'll have great success in whatever it is you're trying to push out to the world. Meaning you're trying to sell a product, it's good to make sure you understand colors. You're trying to either convey a message, information, promote something, create a venue or something, an event. It's great for events to understand the colors of what you're trying to convey to your audience. So it's something to just think about. It's something to think about. So just, again, all of us come to a unique place, and I think everyone could benefit from, just thinking about combinations of different colors to sort of compartmentalize certain things in your life, places in your life, events in your life. They could probably really help you, really help you. Just got a few more slides, and then, I'm just going to finish up. Let me see which one I want to show. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one right here. I think I'm going to do that because this is wild. Yeah, this is wild. I know people probably saw this, but let me just switch it over. Okay, let me just, hold on, let me stop it. All right, yeah, let me stop it. We're going to listen to, I think it started, but this woman just got a phone call from work. And I hope this is a skit. I hope it's not true, but listen, this is what's going to be the detriment of quite a few people. It's going to really hurt, the working class. Situations like this can really, it's going to really hurt, the young adult who's really wanting to get out here and pave the way for themselves and find a job, something that can support them and their family when we have certain individuals. So it's just sad. So let me hit play.
From HR, okay. No, I don't remember you, but what's going on?
Well, we had a discussion a couple weeks ago about your absenteeism and tardiness.
Okay.
You know what time you have to be clocked in at work?
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, on 7/18, you clocked in at 6:12.
Okay, so she got to be at work at 6 a.m. 6:12, 12 minutes late. Knowing you have to be clocked in. When you have to clock in on the clock, which is one of those, again, those low-tier jobs, really. And pretty much some jobs, even in the office, you got to, you clock in through a computer system, but And I'm sure it's something similar, but if you got to go in, there's like a little punch time that you put a code in or something, and you have to, and it's logged. If you got an ID, you beat the ID, whatever it takes for that, but she's already 12 minutes late, so. And she got a call from the job, HR, and she's mad at HR, so.
We
Wow.
had a discussion about that.
12 minutes.
Wow, 12 minutes. So what, I'm late for 12 minutes? I don't care who you are. Never do this on the job, ever.
Also, on 7/28, you clocked in at 6:21.
21 minutes.
Okay, so 12 minutes, 21 minutes. Now you got over 30 minutes already. And you looking at it like it's their problem and not your problem, which amazes me. These are adults. These are not kids. These are adults. I'll give a 19, 18, 19. But if you go to work, you have to change your lifestyle to ensure that you're getting to work on the times that you sign your name on the dotted line to be at. Because you sign your name on the line, say, I will be at work at whatever time that the company designates for me to be at work. And once you sign that and you leave and you go home, you go get your hair and nails did, and you go hang out with your boys, you stay out all night, you still got to be at work at the time that you agreed to. So you got over 30 minutes already of being like 12 minutes and over 20-something minutes late. Wow.
So you were also on 8/8. You clocked in at like 6:32.
That was
32 minutes late. Now you have an hour worth of time being late. Now it wasn't her fault. No accountability.
okay. So I let my cousin use my car the night before, and he didn't bring it. He overslept or something. He didn't bring it back till the morning. So like, I still made it.
So you let your cousin use the car. See how people sabotage you. They don't give a damn about you got to go to work. But apparently she don't either. Because why would you jeopardize your job knowing you're already late, been late, knowing you move slow?
And then on 8/12, you just did a no call, no show.
That was my birthday.
That was my birthday. A no call, no show on your birthday. And these incidents, me looking at this and speaking about it is nothing compared to what job owners, people that want to employ people, what they do. They look at it and be like, okay, we ain't gonna hire nobody like that. See how they work? See, this is everybody. Everybody thinks like her. They don't want to work. I told y'all they don't want to work. Told you. They don't want to work. So what do you do? What do you do as a business owner? If you got a catering business, got to get there on time, got to make some deliveries. You got to get the products out. You got a little startup company where you got to make your shipment orders, got to fill your orders and stuff like that, and you're relying on somebody to show up and they just don't show up. As an entrepreneur, you have to be willing to fill in those slots yourself. See, if you can do that, then you'll be okay. But when you're working for these major companies, they know people looking for jobs, and they'll just do the appropriate thing and just go down the list. Because every time you don't log in, every time you don't do something, it's all documented. It's all on a transcript. So you definitely can't move like this. I don't care. It's my birthday. I ain't calling. I ain't going in. I'm kicking it with my girls. We're going to get drunk off my last check. That's what you might as well say, girl, y'all, it's going to be my last check because I ain't calling and I ain't going into work.
August 12th, that's my birthday. Like, I already told you.
Request that day off work, so.
But y'all know, that's my birthday. I'm not.
Birthday.
No,
That's my birthday. I'm not working. She was great. Say something like, I told somebody, you're in request off. You know, it's always a request. You go right through the system. As soon as I go to a job, and anytime I got an event coming up, birthday, something, I'm putting that day in immediately. As soon as my time slot show up, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm September. I'm going to take these 2 days off right here. Yeah. Unless you got to be on the job 30 days. Now, if you got to be on the job 30 days, you're going to miss this year's event. You're going to miss it. I don't care who throwing you a party. Look, I just started my job. We can't have a party till Saturday. I got to work Friday. I can't do it. Have it on Saturday. I just don't have it at all. But now, our adults, especially us big nose, big lip people, we want to do it whenever the hell we want to, without even taking in consideration of anybody else. F them damn kids is what they show you. You know, I would hope this young lady doesn't have children, or anybody like her doesn't have children if you move like that. You know, I think you can do it, get away with it if you live with your parents. But if you're living with a roommate or living by yourself, you can't do that. Living with your parents, yeah, you're still a kid. You got a lot growing up to do. That's understandable. But if you have children and you live with somebody else, or someone else is working with you and relying on your resources, you can't do this. It's child's play. Really, it's child's play. And you won't have success. Everything you do will crumble, I'm trying to tell you. Because you're putting your name on something and then you're disrespecting it at the same time. So don't do this, whoever you are. If you sign up for a job, take your ass to the job. If you get unhappy at the job, put in some more applications somewhere else. Hopefully they call you. If you're going to take a day off or take a sick day, you just call their company and do that. Get an interview set up. Then you take the day off or half a day for the interview. Set the interview up sort of early so you can get in and get back to work. But hey, you can't do it this way, because those that own businesses, they do have business, especially the bigger companies. When you're working for the bigger companies who know that people looking for jobs, they'll just let you go. Even small companies, you know, it's just less overhead, especially if they have enough people that can do the job without you, then they'll just pretty much let you go and you'll be ass out is what they say.
That's fine. All right. Okay.
Everyone works on their birthday. Even I worked on my birthday.
Y'all too grown for me.
Well, unfortunately, I just need you to turn your keys in. And
I'll be there tomorrow, because that's crazy. That's crazy. Can you say that again?
See that? Turn in your keys. We don't need you. We don't need you. So it's just unfortunate. You know, I think she could be a very attractive young lady. But just the mindset of a lot of y'all young adults will just pretty much, it's going to hurt them. You can't have children and move in this capacity as an adult. You can't do it. Your children will, believe me when I say this, and I'd say it out of love, your children will be poor because you're embedded in them to not be responsible. That's what happens. And now that we put everything on video, okay, this thing, if you run across a kid that your kid runs across this at 12 or 13 while he's hanging out and sees his parent saying, you know, I don't really go to work like that. I go to work late. What you think they're gonna do? They're gonna show up late to everything. And you'll never know why until you ask them, well, why are you always late? Because I used to always be late. I wasn't late. Now you're lying. Yes, it is. I got the video right here. Listen. And they'll show you the video. Oh, no. See, now you're making excuses, which is, again, it just funnels on down to the children. So if you are an adult or if you have a job, understand what the job entails, the duties, the time before you sign up for the job. And if you do, just do the job well. Just do it to the best of your ability. It pays off. Because certain jobs are temporary anyway. Not all jobs all jobs are for growing into, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be 65 years old and all jobs. Some jobs are just there temporarily. So again, whatever you're willing to do. I'm just gonna show 2 more slides for y'all. Let me see which ones I want. All right, so okay, I think I got it. Now, this next video is very unique. Y'all can see the steel right here, and here we go.
This Ethiopian tribe in the Omo Valley has used stilts for centuries.
See, over in Ethiopia, these are young children here that you see, and they walking on stilts, handmade stilts for centuries.
To protect them from animal attacks, and they also allow them to navigate harsh terrain, and they are such a big part of their culture.
See the baby? How old you think he is? 3 or 4 years old, maybe 3. It's some African-American kids that can barely walk at 3, barely talk at 3. This little kid is walking on stilts at 3. And he knows how to navigate them. Handmade stilts. They probably had to make their own. What kind of animals? Snakes, scorpions, could be gators, depending on where they're walking. Any land animal that's, that's pretty much, so tough terrain. They probably walking across shallow creeks. This looks like a dried up creek bed right here, something that when it rains, there's just a steady flow of water. There's snakes that be in there, small little carnivorous creatures that you bite you. So yeah, I can see these stilts being a unique build for them. Is great. But to see this small kid, I can't continue to hear about our little slow ass kids over here. So listen, we got a great opportunity right now. So
That they start using them at a very young age, but could you balance on them? This tribe has to use stilts to avoid snakes and other predators.
Did you see how he got up there?
This Ethiopian tribe in the Omo Valley has used stilts for centuries to protect them from animal attacks, and they also allow them to navigate harsh.
But look how they just walking up the hills, though. They have no straps. Look like they barely have something on their feet. Ain't no padding. So they walking on wood just about every day. Because in a country like that, you don't run across glass and sharp objects unless it's some wood. Might get a splinter or two, but I guarantee their feet very seldom get splinters. And the fact that they can walk up hills easy with no straps, nothing more than some wooden stilts that they've carved, or their fathers or family members have probably carved for them. It's amazing.
Terrain, and they are such a big part of their culture that they start using them at a very young age. But could you balance on them? This tribe has...
See that? Now, what's wrong with us over here? What is wrong with us over here? What's wrong? I don't understand it. Okay, so this is my last slide. I'm just going to show one more slide. So here, I started out earlier. Let me see. The 6 ethics of life. Just going to end with the 5 laws you need to learn before you die. Again, we've heard of these laws. We've heard of them. There's nothing new, but again, There are certain things that you can apply to your life that are already here that can complete the journey, you know? And I've always believed that anytime I learn something new, it's like an age of reason, age of understanding. I'll just say an age of understanding. You know, some things you learn after you go through the journey. You may not understand the meaning of it or know what to call it. Then when you go through the journey, sometimes you look back and be like, oh, I know what that is, because you may have learned it on the way. But at the beginning of the journey, you don't know what it is. So, again, I just read stuff, and if I can apply it to my life, I just try to take it and hold on to it, figure it out, work through the process and see how it can benefit me and my family. You know, you know, I don't know. You know, I've always had to work for everything that I've gotten in my life. You know, I've had to let some things go to gain more. You know, I would never consider myself being a loser or losing. You know, I've been able to always sustain myself, you know, living by myself, you know, going into places I had never gone before. You know, I've usually come out always on the positive side. Any scars or things I got on my body came from when I was younger, playing football, you know, yeah, pretty much playing as a kid, stuff like that. Never really, you know, yeah. Well, I've had back surgery and I've had knee surgery, but that was a result of something. And for the most part, you know, I've been able to live a normal life per se. A little abnormal, you know, as I've gotten older, my muscles have sort of gone down a little bit, but that comes with age. You know, I have back pain sometimes, and my back pain is not just in one space. My back pain shoots around from the top to the middle to the bottom and just rotates. I can wake up one morning, my right side hurting, then that'll get better. Wake up 2 days later, the left side. And you know what I'm saying? They get better than my neck, than my lower back. You know, so you know, it's just part of life, you know, part of life. So, you know, if you can find something that you can hold on to that's gonna assist you in your journey, then I would say hold on to it. Continue to pull it out and, you know, chant it sometime. Read it to yourself. Just put it in your vision where you can refer to it, see it, you know. I think that those things could always benefit you. You know, I don't know what your list or what your motivations are, but if you have them, I would, especially this time in life at this point, you know what I'm saying? I believe it's always good to have them close by. So, and of course, we heard of these laws. Some, I didn't hear of Faulkner's law. Then that's something that was new, but you know, I can see that because I've done that before. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you go through it, then you find out what it means. Then you're like, oh yeah, I remember that time. But yeah, so Murphy's Law. The more you fear something, the more it will happen. Wow. Are we afraid of getting married? The more it will happen. Nobody will get married. Are we afraid to take on new adventures and challenges in our life? Yeah, the more we stay in our hometown, we seeing the same people, got the same low-level jobs, that we can't elevate ourselves. We keep talking to the same people that keep putting us down. We're afraid to go out and meet new people. You know, to walk in new lanes, to discover new territory. A lot of us do it, you know. Don't do it out of fear. So the more you fear something, the more it would happen. And a lot of animals can smell when you're scared. A lot of animals can smell fear. And normally that's when they attack. So just be mindful of that sometime. Even people, when they sends fear in your eyes, then they usually attack you and harass you and pick on you. So again, we all come to a place where we are experiencing Murphy's Law and Kitlin's Law. If you can write the problem down clearly, then the matter is half solved. See? Write it down. Write the plan down. You've already accomplished half of it because now you already have a reference point. You can always go back to it and reference like, oh yeah, I remember. Oh, and that's simple. If you can write it down, you've solved half the problem. You solved half the problem. Gilbert's Law. The biggest problem at work is that no one tells you what to do. Man, I think everybody understands that, whether they understand what the law is called or not. Yeah, when you're at work, nobody really tells you what to do. But if you are smart, in a sense, then you can observe and then figure it out. And then when you actually do the work, do it at a high level, at a high capacity. One of my first jobs was, my second job I ever had was busting tables at a small upscale restaurant. A plate was like $150, and you're talking 1987, 86. It was a 3-tier plate. You know, you had your, appetizer, main entree, and dessert. It's $150 for 2 people. It was $75 a plate, and the plate was all 3 tiers. Drink was extra. On Tuesday night, they had specials. They had a little fast food area. They had a little piano player over, and they had the dining area. The little fast food area, Tuesday night, a burger was $6, half off. And it was a nice little burger. I never ate none of them burgers, but they used to make these little cold chicken little patties, man. I used to be in the freezer smashing them. Then just take the plate out and throw it with the rest of them. Yeah. And one day I was working. Some people came in. It was a couple tables, about 3. Very few people came in to the little bar side. Very few people. Maybe a good day would be 4 people. About 4 people. And I worked from like 3 to close, 4 to close. So it was cool. It was chill. I got tips and stuff like that. But one day the owner, he was standing there. I guess he was watching me. But, I'm a worker, so I understand how to just do the job, and I don't complain about it. But, of course, I'm a buster. I'm busting tables, right? So people came through, got up, they left me like a little $7, $8 tips. Because on that side, the fast food side, like the little piano side, the bar side, all of those tips came straight to me. On the dining side, they went through the servers, and the servers broke me off a piece. But on that side, all of that was mine. So people come through, leave 10, 15, 20. There wasn't no problem with the tip. I don't know what the tip amount, but the minimum wage was $3.35. So for a restaurant, it was probably like $2 or something. But I used to walk out of here every day with about $40, $45 in my pocket every day on a few tables. Every day I worked there the whole summer. Well, no, I'm lying. I worked there through, it was in the fall. I just came out of school. It was that fall of ever, never forget that. The fall of it, I just came out of school because I stopped going because they took my scholarship and I didn't want to take out $1,000 loan. So I was like, man, let me just get out and go to work. And I worked there that fall because I remember going out on Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, and partying with my buddy that worked there. And about $40 a day, New Year, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I think I made $100 those 2 nights just busting tables. That was it. A few little bus. Somebody else was a dishwasher, so I ain't had to worry about that. But he saw me working. He saw and I had to bust the table and set it back up. So I did, I took the stuff off, boom, came back with my little set it up. This probably took me about 2 minutes altogether because I used to work fast. I wasn't one of them all like, I don't want to do it. I used to like to get the job done because I used to always think, man, I got to chill out. I got to sit over and sit back and look cool. And so I wanted to get the job done. And so he saw me and he worked, and I did it so fast. He came to me and said, "Come here. Little white guy, let's get in." He called me by my name, "Come here." I went over like, man, damn, what I do? He done caught me sneaking some of these little chicken dip patties or whatever. He said, "I like the way you work." He said, "Anytime you need a job, you can always come back here." He said, "Yeah, you work pretty good." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm just home for college, didn't go back." He said, "Well, yeah, anytime you want a job, you come back here and I'll tell them just go ahead and hire you immediately." I'm like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Cool." You know, because I busted those 2 little tables. I was out there in about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll make sure everybody give you your tips on the diner side." So, yeah, and on those 2 big holidays, I got about $100 something out there. By the time I got out of work, about $100 in my pocket for both days. So, yeah, it was a great experience. I was like 20. I was like 20. Yeah, I was like 20. You know, like 20 years old. I'm like, cool. But I was like, nah, this ain't going to be my life job right here. I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to, because my other buddy, he worked on the dining room side. He used to get like 60, 70 a day. You know, but for that time, we was cool. I was young, you know what I'm saying? Walking around about $40. Plus, I cut hair. And I can make, I cut hair. I get anywhere between 50 and 100 a week. Just cutting hair on that. So I had that little money plus my little job money. I was good. I was about, I only carried about $20 in my pocket, but I used to make on average about $50, $55 a day with my little busting job cutting hair. Because sometimes I ain't like to cut hair, maybe 1, 2 heads a day, and I was like $5 a piece. Some dudes give me 10 just for a tip, but yeah, that's how, once I got to be, 19, 20, I was like, I ain't cutting hair as much. You know, meet me at the house. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? So great experience for me. It motivated me to always continue to work the way I work. So if you can write the problem down clearly, then the matter is half solved. So just Kenlin's law. Gilbert's law. The biggest problem at work is that no one tells you what to do. True. Nobody tells you. So if you sign up for the job, do your best, work hard, get in, focus on the job, and get out. If you want to make friends, that's on you. It takes up too much time. People know too much of your business. Then as soon as you do something, piss them off or whatever, they turn against you. Now you're losing your job to people that you really don't know. So Watson's law. If you put information and intelligence first at all times, then the money keeps coming in. Now that's a big one. Watson's law. If you put information, learn the information, and intelligence, learn the information, and in learning the information comes intelligence. And you can be intelligent about some things just naturally, but if you learn the overall information, you become intelligent. And put that first, and then when you're ready, once you get the information and gain the intelligence, and sometimes the intelligence comes with, again, doing the research for the information, and then the money will come. That's why you got certain times in life when they say as you get older as a man in your 40s, 50s, then you gain the money. But what are most people doing between 20 and 40 today? Are they getting the information and the intelligence, or are they just figuring it out on their own? And as they get older, the money won't be coming in. Because in gaining the information and intelligence comes the certifications and the requirements to be able to provide the information and the intelligence, the expertise that you've gained over the years. Then the money keeps rolling in. Yeah. Or the money will start rolling in because you've gotten the information needed and now you have the intelligence. Yeah. That Falkland's law. When you don't have to make a decision, then don't make the decision. What's so hard about that? Is that hard? If you don't have to make the decision, then don't make the decision. Tell me, is that hard? That is not hard. 5 laws you will need to learn before you pass. That is it. Murphy's Law, Kitlin's Law, Gilbert's Law, Watson's Law, Falkland's Law. And you can apply these laws in any order. In any order. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I want to thank y'all for stopping by, hanging out with me. My man Hassan, anybody else that just stopped by again. I don't do a lot of fighting. The information I provide may not be for you. That is okay. But if you have someone who may not know, shoot them on over to Trey Ferguson, the player coach. And I will do my best to provide any solutions or answers to any problems or any complications that you may have. And some would say I'm not qualified. Depending on who you're talking to. I've had to go through the gauntlet of what America has to offer. I've gone to college. Well, I've gone to the high schools. I've gone to college, gone to the military, got the certifications there, got out of the military, went back to college, got the certifications there, worked jobs that were available to me and jobs that I wanted to take, jobs that I needed to take, jobs that I'm glad I took, you know, and just worked through that whole process throughout my entire life. And now, again, 56 years old, retired for 2 years, doing the things I still like to do, you know, still coaching, still trying to help people. And I feel even better today about it than I did 10 years ago. You know, working with these young people have inspired me to always continue to fight for opportunity. You know, I may not have all the answers, but I have a few. I'm not trying to force anything down anybody's throat. Well, no diddy. But again, you know, just provide my tools and fuse. You know, everybody has a journey. Everybody has a story. You know, so again, we all have opportunity. Each and every day we wake up, we have opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. We do. So again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Please hit the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferguson, the player coach, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like, share, subscribe to Trey Ferguson, the player coach, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I am Trey Ferguson, the player coach. Thank y'all for coming out. Salute.